The Conservative Party isn't just in opposition, they're currently trapped in a hostage situation with their own past. You aren't watching a political party rebuild, you're watching a messy, public divorce where one side refuses to sign the papers and keeps turning up at the House with a megaphone. The villain here isn't the deep state or the OBR, it's the total inability of the Tories to look in the mirror without flinching. So in this video, I've got the Shadow Minister Helen Whately try and fail to pretend that Liz Truss doesn't exist. And apologies if my voice sounds a bit croaky, I am suffering from the man flu. That's quite a serious case, by the way. Helen Whately came on LBC to do the serious politician bit. You know the drill, furrowed brow, folders of statistics, talking about worklessness and mental health, and wants to land punches on Labour. She wants to talk about the budget. She wants to be the adult in the room. But there's a ghost at this feast, and that ghost has a new podcast. Watch what happens when Lewis Goodall drops the T-bomb, Liz Truss.
Do you welcome your former party leader Liz Truss starting her own TV show?
Well, I don't think I'll be watching it.
She didn't just say no, she recoils. That isn't a political answer, that's a visceral, physical rejection. It's the reaction you give when someone asks you to revisit the restaurant where you found that little black curly hair in your food.
You don't think you'll be watching it? You're not interested in the pearls of wisdom that your former Prime Minister might have for us?
You know what? I have a job to do, and my priority is working on the right answers for our welfare system, fixing the mess that Labour is making of our country.
Whately is desperate to pivot. She tries to drag that conversation back to fixing the mess Labour is making. But Goodall isn't letting go. He brings Truss's favourite greatest hit, the deep state.
She says that she was brought down by the deep state, a deep state which includes your party, and she's been proven right about everything. Would you agree with that?
I don't agree with that. And as I said a moment ago, we have to recognise some of the mistakes that we made in government. One of the things that people are angry with us was about changes of leader, which are a distraction from the job that we needed to do, which was getting on and solving some of the problems of the country, particularly as we came through the pandemic. The job I have now and the job we as the Conservatives should be doing is holding the government to account on all the things they're getting wrong now.
Is she all right, do you think?
And coming up with the right answers. And I say that, and I talk to people who are literally despairing about what the government is doing and what the state of the country is, despairing about the future for their kids, for their grandkids. That's what matters, is fixing those problems.
This is the split. You have Whately on one side trying to play the rules of reality, admitting mistakes, trying to scrape back some credibility. And on the other side, you've got the Truss faction, who are currently sitting on GB News with reform activists rewriting history and blaming a global conspiracy for the fact that they don't know how to use a calculator. The absurdity peaks when Whately is asked, point blank, if Liz Truss is a conspiracy theorist.
Is she still a Conservative Party member, do you know?
I don't know.
Would you...
I think she is.
Do you hope she is? Or do you think she'd be welcome elsewhere?
I don't think Liz has done anything to be chucked out of the Conservative Party. But the fact is,
she's talking about the deep state. It's very conspiratorial, isn't it?
We have a job as a Conservative Party to hold the government to account and to come up with a better plan for the country at the next election. To me, this is really, really important. Let's talk about that. I mean, we have a situation, and the government's talking about today, I talk about it,
if it's true,
1 million young people not in education,
but if it's true she was removed by the deep state, I mean, that's really important, isn't it?
I think, look, usually conspiracy theories generally aren't a good way of spending time exploring them.
Is she a conspiracy theorist?
As I said, my job is to look at welfare and how we fix a welfare state, not into questions of what Liz Truss is saying about things.
Do you think she's a conspiracy theorist?
Honestly, I said I'm not going to get into what Liz Truss is saying about things.
And you won't be watching her show?
I don't think so.
She starts babbling. She starts talking about 1 million young people. She will talk about literally anything else. She would rather read the phone book than answer this question, because she knows the answer. We know the answer. But she can't say it. She can't say it because the Conservative Party is terrified of its own shadow. They can't denounce Truss because she still has the membership's ear, and they can't embrace her because she's a political kryptonite. So you just get this waffle. Liz Truss is launching a reform-friendly media tour, courting the very voters the Tories are bleeding. And the very best that the Shadow Cabinet can muster is, I won't be watching. There's a video on screen now which I think you should watch next, and I am going to go and find myself some Lemsip.